Hey everybody, how we doing today? So welcome to windy day fishing number 5, 4, 6-ish. I don't know, I'll have it in the title. But anyways, it's actually not a windy day, but I've got a few hours and I kind of want to keep up on this series. And what we're going to be talking about today is a very common issue during the winter times, which is the north winds. All right. That basically occurs whenever you hear in the news, oh, the East Coast is getting wiped out by blizzards, or a big snowstorm is pushing through to the east. It doesn't really affect us that much, but what happens is that we get those residual winds as that storm fronts push by. It pushes the wind down. So we get these north winds that blow from the north directly south. And yeah, it does get a little bit chillier, maybe drops 10 degrees, so we'll get down into the 70s. Once those storms up north go away, then the Gulf winds blow back in and we go back up to the 80s. But it happens quite a bit because, you know, wintertime and storms and so forth. So what we do is, or I do, is that I start focusing, of course, on the leeward side of the islands. We're always focusing on the opposite side the wind is blowing. So we want the islands to be our buffer zone. It knocks down the wind, and then those areas right behind the mangroves and going so far out is fairly calm and very fishable, even up to 20, 30 knot winds. What we're going to do, since that's going to be impacting our area, so we'll have actually the whole Atlantic side to be able to fish up to parallel with the mangroves, and depending on how bad the wind is how far we can go out. So the structure of the Atlantic side is that, as you see where we're at right now, the mangroves are there. If you look down, we're in inches of water here, and that's kind of common with the whole Atlantic side. Is basically the flats, the grass flats. It's just inches of water. You go out for 100, 200 yards, and it's still maybe a foot or 2 foot of water. Then once you keep going out maybe half a mile or so, then you're going to start seeing a drop off where the flats go into Hawks Channel. Hawks Channel is just a trough area. It's a pretty wide trough, maybe it extends out a couple of miles, but it parallels with the Florida Keys all the way up from Key Largo to Key West, and it's just a 20 to 25 foot trough. That's like a channel that runs parallel with the Keys. All right, and then you go out past that, then you get to the patch reefs, and then the main reef, and then the outside, and then the bar, and so forth. Because we're going to have that north winds, we can't really go all the way out to the reef, because then we're going to be into that full effect of the winds. The Keys are just the mangroves. It's only 1 story high that it's getting knocked down, so it's not a huge amount. But we can still get out to the Atlantic side at a fair good distance, because it'll still be fairly calm, because it's shallow waters. The waves don't have a time to build up. So what we're going to look for is, we've got the flats, and then we've got the Hawks Channel. We're going to look and try to fish that edge of the drop off, okay? And not just anywhere. We're going to try to find the deeper drop offs, because it'll be more of a sheer edge, and they'll tend to be more craggly areas there, a lot more rubble piles and that kind of stuff. And what that is that's going to create structure. So we're always looking for current, and if we don't have current, then we're wanting to look for structure. Just like the flats out here, there's just nothing. It's just like a desert out here. But if you happen to have a tree or a brush or a rock or a stump out in the center of it, that's going to magnetize all the fish to that area, because it's structure. And that's what we're going to do. Even though that channel runs all the way 100 miles along the Keys, we're going to look for that one section that's going to be real scraggly, a deep drop, and that's what we're going to target. And we're going to fish it just like we do the reef. We're going to anchor up, we're going to put the chum bag up, get things right along that edge all together, and then we're going to drop some bait. So right now, because the pilchards are in massively, they're everywhere. So if you're starting out and you want to catch pilchards with the cast net, now's the time. They're just schools of them just blanked out. So you just got to be able to open the net anywhere, and then you'll end up catching them. So I'm going to try to get a bucket full of pilchards because I have no bait, and then we'll head on out.
All right, there's like so many pilchards around. See them flashing all over. I just need to throw on some. I don't need a lot. That just might be perfect.
And some decent sized ones there. That might work. Ooh, that's going to be a lot. There we go. And those I'm going to be using for my chummers. All right, let's get out of here. Okay, we've arrived at a bit of like a patchy reef along the edge. My fish finder actually died on me. Well, I think it's the fuse blew up on me, and I don't have a spare fuse. But I can kind of get a gist of where I was targeting, because the opening to Geiger Creek is right there, next to just to the right of that house there. And then it's just a matter of I just came out until, and I could see bottom fairly easily, and then I could see the drop off where I really couldn't see bottom anymore. Then I just cruised around looking for these dark patches, and then if you can see here, that's that kind of rubbish piles that I'm looking for. Just coral heads, rocks, everything, just a bunch of structure. So I dropped anchor. I've got the chum I'm going to put out. I've got a scoop full of dead pilchards that I'm going to chop up, spread those out, and then I've got the liveys that I'm going to be working as well. So I'm up current. I took a look at one of the crab buoys to see which way the current was pushing those buoys, so I know where to anchor. And the chum should flow straight out that way, covering all that kind of, there's dark patches. That's more of that rocky stuff along the bottom. And we'll see what we can get. And as you can see, we're very close to the shoreline, so not very far at all. So even if the winds are ripping over, we would still be catching wind on a normal north winds day, but it would have been knocked down. Plus it would have been shallow water, so right here would be definitely livable. The rigs we're going to use is basically my reef stuff. I've got the Esky medium, and I've got that 4000. I've still got my yellowtail jig from when I was out on the reef, and I'm going to be using those live pilchards with this. I just want this to have some skirting on the surface. Then I might also switch over. I've got the 1520 Esky that I might set up as a bottom rig. I've got the paddle tail on at the moment. If a lot of bait starts throwing up, I'll throw the paddle tail, but I think those live pilchards would be best. And then I'll probably set this one up as a knocker rig and throw some baits along the bottom. These areas here, the species I'm primarily looking for are like the a lot of lanes. We'll get the mangroves, muttons, you'll get grouper. If I was right on the edge, then possibly see some of the mackerels showing up. Just depends on how much bait shows up. If I get a big school of ballyhoo, that'll tend to attract more other creatures out here. On the solid winter time, once we've got some solid cold streaks in, you'll even see the kingfish moving in right along this reef edge here, not the inside reef edge. And I talked to Kevin over at Knee Deep Charters. He runs right out of here. Every year they catch the big 25, 30, 40 pounders right along this edge here. So it's always worthwhile to put a big bait on a balloon as well. Plus you get tons of sharks and big sharks as well. So anyways, a lot of stuff to do. So let me get this chum working and see if we can catch something. All right, first fish we've got is a I'm going to rig up my big rod with a wire rig. All right, got my kingfish rig, treble hook with a stinger treble, wire about 10 or 12 inches. Got the balloon set up. Got my blue runner here, perfect size for inside. Not massive, so might actually catch something on a little guy like this. Hooking this up, we're just going to run one through the nostrils. That. And then one through the backside. With enough flex, just lightly skin hooked with one of the trebles. And so it still has swim room there. so we can put this guy out and put him to work. Ah, dang toothy critters back there. Every bait I've been putting back there is getting cut off, so I've got a little trace of wire on this one. Let's see what happens now, buddies. There he goes. Alright. Oh! What happened there? Dang it. Alright, I think. There it goes. Oh! What the heck? And swallowed the wire. I've only got 12 pounds, so that's costing me. Alright. These guys are like burning through my baits. Longer piece of wire. There we go. Pretty sure something just took it. There we go. Oh, it just took me in the rocks. I could feel it down there. Oh. Alrighty, that's what we're gonna do, huh? You mothers. Alright, for my like 8th rig already. But I think these might be like either groupers or snappers that are right in these rocks here, because they're not cutting me off, they're breaking me off. So I went up to 30-pound leader, and I'm not gonna wait for them to run. As soon as I get that little take, we're gonna do some drag pulling. There we go. Why? What the heck? Broke it off right at the hook. That's a toothy one. What the heck? Come on! Alright, for the 9th time here, we're going with the wire lockdown drag. And quick set. Because whatever it is, I cannot get a bait down at all. Alright. I think it might have took it. No. Struggling. Oh, it's struggling. Oh, there he goes. Ugh. What are you? Is that a Ciro or is that a Cuda? Looks like a Ciro mackerel. It hit right there and just broke it. God! All right, so the Ciro mackerels are here. Gosh! All I'm doing is, the whole time I've been here, is just re-rigging. Re-rigging. I can't keep a bait out for like 30 seconds. Come on! All right, we finally got something here. Not rocking me up yet. Oh no. Don't be a stupid shark. Don't be a stupid shark. The jack. Yeah, dang jack. Ugh. Oh, that's a yellow jack. Ah, nice. Yeah, that's about right. Time for these guys to start showing up. go. Nice yellow jack. This one got me rocked up. I was hoping it'll... There we go. Get him out of there. Ah, yay! Ah, grouper. These are the guys that have been kept rocking me up. So there. Both of you annoying fishies been just ruining my day. There we go, nice double. Oh, it's been a bad, rough day for catching. At least I got these two guys real quick here. Nice yellow jack. Nice little undersized grouper. There we go. Oh, what a rough day so far. But we're catching something. Alright, there's something else. More dang groupers. Ah, little dudes. Killing all my baits. Ah, rocked up again. God dang it. Ah, I'm tired of this. This is just, all I'm doing all day is just re-rigging. Ah, don't want to do it no more. Not gonna do it. So there. Okay, I pulled anchor, so I'm gonna drift over this rocky area that I was fishing, and then I'll put the GoPro down so you can kind of see. Sun's kind of at a bad angle, but I think you can get the gist of it. So as you can see, that's why I was getting so many break-offs. You're fairly shallow water, so your line angles is not very good for pulling fish up. So they can grab the bait, swim right down to the rocks, and you're at an angle you can't even tell, and then they're buried in their holes, and then as soon as you tighten up, you're snagged up. So that was why I'm just getting so many break-offs. But you can see as much structure that's there, versus everywhere else around here is just going to be grass or sand, and all that structure is just kind of like an oasis, and that's why there's going to be so many fish just in that little area. All right, I'm calling an early day. I went through most of those pilchards. There's just tons of fish here, just the wrong mix. I think when I first got here, I started throwing the live pilchards out on just a hook on the leader, throw it out there, and I was getting cut off. I think I went through about 5 or 6. The first 5 or 6, just bait hits the water, cut off. And then I started going to wire, and I think those were just those Cero macro. There was a school back there just chomping them up. Then I went to the wire and I started throwing those out there, and then the grouper started taking those and taking me into the rocks. So I did, God, I don't know, almost 10 wire rigs. The whole first start of it, all I was been doing the whole time is just rigging, and throw it out, and 3 seconds later either got cut off or I was in the rocks. And then those grouper stuff just take me in the rocks. I mean, I pulled a couple of fish, but man, you just, not as many as I'm not showing you. But just the wrong mix. It's just cereals in the beginning and then groupers towards the end there, and then I think after a while every fish in this area had a big old long trace of wire on it. So realistically I should have moved down or over just to get a new spot, but I'm not putting in that much effort. But yeah, so that's kind of it. We're a couple hundred yards off of the shoreline. North winds will be coming right over that. The only warning I'm going to give you though is you got to be very careful is when that starts, wind is blowing, you got to remember it's pushing you away from the land. So if you get into trouble, it's a hard road to get back in. I'm diagonal, so like I'm that way to get back to the launch. If I'm starting to get into troubles making headwinds because I'm going into the wind, go perpendicular right to the land there, get behind those mangroves, and then cut across along the mangroves, and there won't be any wind at all, and it'll be a lot easier to cruise through. But when the gusts really pick up, it could be very difficult to paddle your way back in. I mean, brutally. So just be careful of that. Otherwise, yeah, quick and easy, relatively short distance. You can catch ceros, you can catch groupers. There's other dang things, that old yellow jacks and stuff. So pretty much everything that you can catch on the reef, you can catch on these edges of the flats. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. I'm gonna troll around with a 4-inch paddle tail with a 12 inches of wire and see if there's any of those more ceros around. Very happy to see those guys showing up. So that means I could start hitting the shark channel, dumping those pilchards out, and maybe picking those up. So another option. So thanks for watching. Bye.